Hi, I'm Professor Nick Duvernay, and this is my assistant, Rafi.
Hi, everyone.
And today we'll be talking about Unit 7's grammar point, adjective clauses. All right, let's begin. All right, adjective clauses. What are they? Adjective clauses describe or identify people or things. We can use the word who, and we can use the word that. Let's take a look at some examples. For example, number 1, the lead vocalist is someone who sings in a band or group. Number 2, Chuseok is a great holiday for people who like traffic jams. Number 3, seniors who want to graduate must take this class. All right, here we were referring to people. Now let's refer to things. Number 1, the electric guitar is an instrument that is often played in rock music. Number 2, the festivals that take place in summer are a lot of fun. So question, how about for number 1 up here? Who? Who sings in a band or group? So which noun is who referring to? If you guessed someone, you are correct. Who sings in a band or group? Someone sings in a band or group. So who is referring to someone? Number 2, who likes traffic jams? And if you guessed people, you are correct. People love traffic jams. Number 3, who wants to graduate? You might be one of them. Seniors want to graduate. Next, for things. What is often played in rock music? Just take a look at the noun phrase right before that. An instrument is often played in rock music. And what takes place in summer? The festivals take place in summer. All right, now that we know how they are used, let's take a look at what kind of context they are used in. So, number 1, as a subject-relative pronoun. So, who is a pronoun relating to the subject of the clause? For example, the person who comes for dinner should bring a gift. In this case, the person is the subject of the clause. The person comes for dinner, subject. And for this, you can use the word who or the word that if you're referring to an object or a thing, right? So speaking of objects, let's go on into its second context as an object-relative pronoun. So it is relating to the object of the clause. For example, the person whom you invite for dinner should bring a gift. In this case, the person is not the subject. You here is the subject. You invited the person. In this case, you can also use the word who or the word that, but also you can use the word whom. So let's take a look at the relation between who and whom. When should you use who and when should you use whom? This confuses a lot of people. Very simply, as was mentioned earlier, you should use who when you're relating to the subject. For example, the person who comes for dinner. So the person is the subject, comes for dinner. You should use the word whom when it's relating to the object. For example, the person whom you invite for dinner. You invited the object, the person. All right, so let's try an exercise out. And for this, I will borrow my assistant, Rafi.
Okay.
All right, exciting. So, the question is, Rafi, which of the following sentences is grammatically correct? Number one, is it, who did you invite for dinner? Or is it number two, whom did you invite for dinner?
I think it should be, who did you invite for dinner?
Who did you invite for dinner?
Yes, who.
All right, that's your final answer?
That's my final answer.
Absolutely?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Rafi, in a way, you were correct. And in a way, you weren't.
Oh.
Yeah, you sound a little disappointed, but let me explain. In a formal context, for example, a business meeting or written language, strictly grammatically speaking, you must use the word whom did you invite, because you're referring to the object. However, if you take a look at, well, who did you invite for dinner? It sounds right.
Yes.
Yeah, it sounds grammatically correct. We all use it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is because in an informal context, usually spoken language, you also use the word who. So many people use the word who and also whom for more formal contexts. Now in this case, then, for an informal context, casual context, both of them may be used. So as you can see, the rule is a little unclear. So let me give you an example of when you shouldn't ever use who. Who may not be used, not in written language, not in spoken language, to refer to an indirect object. An indirect object is the recipient, the receiver of the direct object. Let's take a look at an example here. All right, we have a wonderful example. They sent the rock star a hungry turtle. And as you can see, there's a very hungry turtle and a surprised rock star. All right, now let's take a look at the sentence in more detail. So, they is the subject, right? Sent is the verb. They sent what? The direct object, a hungry turtle. Who did they send the hungry turtle to? They sent it to the rock star, which is the indirect object in the sentence. So, if you were going to make a question based on this sentence, and you're asking about the indirect object, the rock star. All right, let's try one more exercise here. Rafi, which do you think is the correct question? Is it, to who did they send a hungry turtle? Or is it, to whom did they send a hungry turtle?
I think it's, to whom did they send a hungry turtle?
To whom?
Yes, to whom.
And why?
Because we are talking about an indirect object.
Okay, absolutely, correct. Whom is referring to the indirect object, the rock star.
Yes.
Good job. Now, all this might be a little confusing, so there is a simpler way to know when to use the word whom. And that is simply to answer your own question. For example, if we consider that he equals who and him equals whom. So just remember this formula. We have two sentences here. Number one, they sent a hungry turtle to he, which is obviously incorrect. And they sent a hungry turtle to him, which is the correct answer. So then, what would be the appropriate question to this answer? It would be, to whom did they send a hungry turtle, right? Because him equals whom. Okay, so let's try one more exercise here then. we have two sentences. You know, the poor rock star, he saw a hungry turtle. The turtle's bigger than him, so it looks really scary. He tried to run away, right? Okay. Now, the correct sentence is, you know, he tried to run away, right? Not him tried to run away. Okay, good. Then, what is the question? Is it number 1, who tried to run away? Or is it number 2, whom tried to run away?
It should be the first question. Who tried to run away?
Who tried to run away? You are absolutely correct. Because he equals who?
Who.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, it looks like our rock star was not very successful in running away. Oh well. And that is it for our short tutorial on adjective clauses. We talked about how adjective clauses are used. They're used with subject and object relative pronouns using the words who, that, and whom. And also we discussed the differences in context between when who is used and when whom is used. Thanks for listening, and thanks to my wonderful hungry turtle, Nick Boogie.